You get your new, not to forget your whatchamacallit that you forgot.
What did I forget?
Your welcome to the will call it thing.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I need to redo that too.
Yeah.
What is going on, HVAC contractors? Jake Miles of Comfort Air Distributing. With me today is Brian O'Hara, and welcome to the will call. All right, so for many of you who don't know, Brian once owned his own scuba school in the great state of Hawaii. Is it in the state of Hawaii or on the state of Hawaii?
Well, I was on the island of Kauai,
Okay.
the Garden Island.
So, Kauai, which is Japanese for cute, I think.
Kauai, for those of you who have never spelled it.
Anywho, Brian owned his own scuba school in the great state of in Hawaii. Tell me, Brian, why would anybody who lived in Hawaii would move away from Hawaii to come to Colorado and do HVAC?
I get asked that question a lot. First of all, there's two reasons why. One was my dream job, my second dream job was to come to work for Comfort Air in the outside sales department. And so I was very fortunate when my old boss asked me to come aboard. And the second reason, which is far more personal, was my granddaughter came and lived with me for a year on the island. And at the end of the year, she got homesick and went home. And when she left the island, my heart left the island. And so I finished my house real quick and put it up for sale, shut down the scuba shop, sold my boat, and here I am.
So in that time that you had your scuba school, how many students did you lose?
None. Zero.
You didn't drown a single person?
I didn't drain us. No. I was I was trained through an organization that came from the tech side, and so we were a little more thorough than just the recreational scuba school.
Well, Brian, the question is still, it remains to be seen, why would you leave a state that most of us only seen on movies?
It is amazingly beautiful, Jake, and the beauty of the island still captures in my heart. I go back and visit quite often, and I may even retire there at some point. But right now, it's about building what we're building here at Comfort Air. We've grown our business here at Comfort Air quite a bit. You and I have been a part of that, and helping these contractors grow their businesses, and it's just been it's really rewarding professionally.
So moving on from Brian's wholesale scuba manslaughter school, we're here to talk about AHRI, which stands for Air Conditioning, Heating, and Refrigeration Institute. It is a globally known organization that does multiple things for the consumer, for the contractor, and for the manufacturer. For us specifically, we present the AHRI rating through a couple of different means. We have a spreadsheet that has already a lot of equipment listed on an Excel spreadsheet that we can find a specific AHRI number and present that to the contractor. Most of us here at Comfort Air, if not all of us, can use the AHRI tool on the website and look up equipment that way and give you a specific C rating to ensure that you are giving your customer the greatest rating possible. So, Brian, take it away. Tell us about AHRI and why it's important to the contractor, and why it's important to the consumer, and how is it all related to professionalism and quality?
Well, first of all, all manufacturers' warranties are based upon AHRI rated equipment. So if you want to register like with Rheem equipment, it comes with a 5-year warranty. If you register it, you get a 10-year warranty. If you don't register an AHRI rated system, it will not take the warranty registration, and so you're back to only having 5-year warranty. Also, if you present to us and we present to Rheem, if you have troubles with a piece of equipment, the downside will be is that the equipment, if it's not AHRI rated, Rheem may kick it back and not warranty it at all because it's not rated with the AHRI system. Because again, equipment is designed to work together. So that's the first and the most important. The second thing is when you're out there and you're bidding against everybody else in town for a system, an AHRI directory can give you a certificate for the equipment, which will allow you to actually prove that that equipment is going to operate within the standards of what you're selling it, or higher sometimes. Sometimes you may sell a 13 SEER, but you put a right coil on, you may actually have 14.5 SEER equipment if you put the right coil with the AHRI directory. So you can actually, if you understand the directory and the equipment and how it works, you can actually increase the efficiency of what you're selling, which will also give you a competitive edge over everybody else.
So it doesn't matter so much that you're buying a 16 SEER air conditioner, a 96% efficient furnace, and a high efficient coil, whether that's a Rheem MTA coil or an HTA coil, or you're getting into the higher efficient ADP coils. It all depends on how those items are put together, if they are a matched system.
Correct.
Through AHRI. So it's important to note that manufacturers, when they sell or they manufacture rather a 16 SEER air conditioner, that doesn't mean that that air conditioner alone is going to get 16 SEER. It's up to 16 SEER. If you match that equipment up correctly with a coil and a furnace, you might be able to go above that 16 SEER because of the addition of the coil and the furnace, or you might be a little bit under, depending on which coil and furnace you put with that. And conversely, the same is true with coils. There's also a coil air conditioner only matchup scenario.
There is.
For Comfort Air specifically, we obviously sell Rheem equipment. So we can look up ADP and Rheem manufactured equipment, and we can match those up together with quite a bit of ease. Sometimes you might run into a situation where you have a brand X furnace that's fairly new, that doesn't need to be replaced. It's working just fine. But the coil and the air conditioner could use a little bit of work, or maybe just the air conditioner could use a little bit of work. So we can come up with a scenario using the AHRI tool, or we can look up these same numbers in MyRheem.
Correct.
And get a SEER or an AHRI rating scenario for you that way. And typically after we do that, we print out this nice certificate that comes from AHRI, and we hand it to you, and then you can in turn hand that to your customer and make them feel all warm and fuzzy inside that they're actually getting 16 or 17 and above SEER. So as far as warranty goes, Brian, I want to make sure that we drive that home, how important that is, the AHRI match system is to the warranty process for Rheem specifically.
Well, Rheem has a process. So for those of you who don't know, we're a Rheem wholesaler, which you should know because you've been following Jake's station. But if you didn't, we're a Rheem wholesaler. And Rheem, anytime there's a Rheem warranty issue, regardless of what it is, we have a process. We have 2 technical support people on staff here at Comfort Air, Leo and Michael, and you call them or reach out to your outside salespeople for a problem that you're having. We get Leo or Michael involved, and the first thing they have to do is they have to go through our DTR over at Rheem. And it's all based upon this one man at Rheem who makes this call. And so the first thing he asks us is, what is the AHRI rating on this system? And if it's not AHRI rated, he's like, no warranty. The factory uses this as a tool to make sure that people are selling what they're supposed to be selling and how they're supposed to be selling it.
So basically what you're saying is, gone are the days where you can just install anything, and as long as it cools in the summer and warms in the winter, for warranty's sake, you can absolutely do that if you want to, especially if it's something that your homeowner's just wanting to get out of so they can have something so they can sell the house. you know, that's whatever. But if you want to have that extra 5 years warranty on your air conditioner and your furnace and your coil, in most cases, this AHRI tool is paramount that it is utilized and presented for.
Well, in most environments, most county, cities, rebate programs do use the AHRI system as well. So it's very important if you're filing for some kind of rebate, especially with Xcel Energy, if you're in the Denver metro area. Not so much in Colorado Springs, but again, depending on your market, would depend on how important that AHRI is. But as a professional in our industry, it's the only way you should sell the equipment.
Yep. And this rating system, the energy rebates exist in El Paso County, Colorado Springs. It's not just isolated to Denver, Boulder, and the higher population areas of the state. The same kind of expectations that your energy providers have for the people of Denver and the Boulder area, eventually that's going to come down here. So the quicker you become more adept at either asking Comfort Air, whichever Comfort Air you shop at, whether that's here in Springs or Denver, Centennial, or Broomfield, the more adept you get at asking one of us at Comfort Air for an AHRI printout, whether you need it or not, it's peace of mind for your customer and for us to you, that you have something that you can ensure that it is a match system and that it's actually getting the SEER rating, which is the seasonal energy efficiency rating. AHRI is one of those tools that it's for us is extremely easy to use. It takes us no time to print something up, to match something up. A lot of times though, especially down here in Colorado Springs, and I'm sure that they run into this in Denver, a lot of buildings are old.
Yes.
Ductwork is small or non-existent, and a lot of times for retrofit guys, for guys who just want to do retrofit installs, they don't do a lot of new construction, where they're having to deal with existing situations. AHRI and the SEER rating concerns, this becomes pretty difficult for some of these guys. So how do we calm some of those fears, and how do we make that an okay scenario for them, where I guess what I'm saying is when they have such tight spaces and they need that smaller coil, that lower profile coil, or they need that smaller furnace, right, and they can use whatever air conditioner they want because they have all the room in the world out in the backyard. But right here, whether it's a mechanical closet or a crawl space or a basement where room is so small, should these guys be concerned about AHRI?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But AHRI, again, if you were to just sell your coil based upon the height, and you're not going to be able to get the AHRI rating or the right coil in for the high efficiency, don't sell the high efficiency. Just sell the standard efficiency where you can use the shorter coils, and then you won't have the problem. If you have duct challenges, and you do have to modify your equipment, just make sure that you don't sell them a 16, 17 SEER if you don't have the height to put in those taller coils that will meet the AHRI ratings.
Yeah, because it's a lot like buying a new car. You know, the sticker on the window talks about fuel mileage, how much fuel mileage you're going to get if you buy this car. But that's dependent on how you drive, the condition of your tires, the weather, elevation. Is it really windy? Are you driving into a headwind? I mean, that's not a guarantee. And manufacturers of air conditioners and furnaces, Rheem, and all the other brands out there, they can put a stamp on the air conditioner that says this is a 16 SEER AC, but unless you have that good ductwork, unless you have that that scenario in the house that you're trying to install this stuff, unless all of that matches up with what you're trying to put in this place, that's where you're going to get your SEER rating. So if you run into a house and your homeowner says, you know, I want the highest efficiency, I just put new windows in my house, it has a brand new roof, I want a high efficient system, and they only have 8-inch duct, 6-inch duct, Sometimes they have the flat pancake ductwork that goes up into 2x4 walls. I mean, sometimes that's all they have. Probably not a good idea to sell them a 96% variable speed furnace or an 80% two-stage variable speed furnace. You should probably stick to that 80% single stage and explain to them that yes, it is a lower efficient piece of equipment.
So you got some splaining to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with the condition of your ductwork, this is going to run so much better for you. That's huge. So
sometimes with ADP coils, we can get higher efficiency than what the equipment's rated for. So if you take our 13 SEER condenser with certain ADP coils, you can actually get 14 and up to 15 SEER efficiency with a ADP coil. Or a medium or high efficiency ream coil, you might be able to as well increase your efficiency on a lower piece of efficient equipment if somebody wanted a 14 SEER, where we're right now currently selling 13 and 16 SEER. And so we've decided to stock the equipment that would, you know, help our people be a little more professional and have a little competitive advantage. We can still get 14 SEER with certain coils on the 13 SEER condensers. So
yeah, so it's important just to have that conversation with whoever your counter person is, whichever branch that you shop at. Just have that conversation about AHRI and if this is a match system and the condition and what you're running into at the house. We might, just like Brian said, be able to get you something higher than 13 SEER.
We stock the HE series of the ADP coils, which can be used with any manufacturer. So when ADP does get to where they're manufacturing at 100% and we can have some extra coils, if you have another brand that has a monstrosity of a coil, we can also look up AHRI ratings with the HE series ADP coils. So we should be able to help you with that. We're hoping by the end of next year, or by the end of this year, or the beginning of next year, that ADP will be manufacturing at 100%, and that'll give us the opportunity to help people from other brands with coils as well.
Yep, absolutely. What else do we want to talk about, Brian? I think we covered it all, didn't we?
Between the two times we've done this?
Yeah. All right. We can continue on for a minute. All right, guys, that's it. All right, guys, that's it for this episode of the Will Call. Be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment should you have any questions or suggestions for the next video. In the description below, I will leave the website for AHRI. They also have their very own YouTube channel, which is full of information. And see you guys later.